perhaps before we answer that question that many were probably asking, we should first ask, how did we as a society get here? How did we as a country, paano ba tayo nakarating dito kung nasan tayo ngayon? To a place where justice seems to bend deeply in favor of the rich and powerful. Where the law is harsh, but only if you are not well connected. Where in many situations, it seems like the only way to succeed is if you play the game. A game where amongst the successful, whether in the public or private sector, it is more common than not to engage in corrupt and unethical behavior. Nung isang linggo lamang, wala ako sa meeting, pero nandun yung city administrator ko. Meron po nag-propose po sa amin, unsolicited proposal for a certain service in the city government. At yung tanong ng side namin sa kanila, magkano ba yung serbisyo? Ano yung annual fees? Ano yung maintenance fees? Etc. Ang tinanong nila sa aking administrador, sa aking CA, magkano ba, ilan % ba yung SOP sa Pasig City? Yung city admin ko, medyo nahawa na po sa akin pag may mga ganun talong, medyo mainit ng ulo. At sabi niya, huwag niyo kaming tanungin ng ganyan. 0% ang SOP namin, wala kaming ganyan sa Pasig, sabi niya. Alam niyo yung reaction nung nagpropose? Sabi niya, ha? Talaga? 0%? Totoo pala, walang SOP sa Pasig. Akala namin sa balita lang yun. Akala namin sabi-sabi lang yun. Totoo pala. Sa madaling salita, parang nakarating na tayo sa punto kung saan mas nakakagulat pa kapag may nakasalubong kang honest kesa sa corrupt. Hindi ko po yan sinasabi para magbuhat ng sariling bangko. Hindi yan po yung karanasan ko na, teka, parang mas nakakagulat. Mas maraming nagugulat pag nalaman na may honest. Hindi lang na mayor naman, pero lahat ng mga, pag nalaman na yung department head, hindi nang hihingi ng porsyento, nagugulat yung mga kontratista, nagugulat. Mga nagbibigay ng serbisyo sa pamahalaan, nagugulat ng iba't ibang tao, lalo na yung mga sanay na. How did we get here? How did we as a society, as a government, as a country, get here? At ang totoo, madaling mamuna, madaling maghanap ng mali sa ating kapwa, mas lalong madaling mamuna pagka nakita natin yung mga mali, yung mga hindi magandang balita sa telebisyon, sa social media. At tama naman yun, di ba? Karapatan natin, tungkulin natin na sitahin ng mga public officials natin, lalo na. But before we aim to change society and the entire government, maybe we should look inwards first. Let's zoom in first. And maybe we should aim to better ourselves first. Sa Facebook, galit tayo sa corrupt. Pero pag may exam tayo, nandaraya tayo. There will come a time when you will have a boss, you'll work for a firm, or any other company that accepts as standard the practices of bribing judges, policymakers, regulatory agencies. There will come a time when you become part of a team, an office, a local government unit, where they say there is a standard operating procedure, an SOP, or an automatic kickback, maybe of 10%, 20%, or maybe more. If you run for public office, the veterans are likely to tell you that you will not win unless you buy votes. If you work for a private firm, perhaps the management will ask you to falsify a record, misdeclare your earnings, or otherwise engage in fraud and deceit. You may be asked or tempted to contribute to the ecosystem of disinformation, misinformation, or wherever life takes you, you will eventually be pressured by others, or tempted by circumstance into crossing ethical boundaries, compromising your principles, and breaking your integrity. Now, let's go back. How did we get here? As a society, we could talk and debate for hours. Each of us, as many people as there are in this theater, will have the same number of opinions, different theories. But let's not forget that everything big started out as something small. Everything systemic, everything that has been institutionalized started out with one decision, with one small practice. Institutionalized ba ang kickback sa DPWH o rig bidding sa DPWH? Hindi naman po yan nagsimula na ganyan na siya, sistema na siya, institutionalized na siya. Nagsimula yan sa isang kontrata, nagsimula yan sa maliit na padulas, nagsimula yan sa maliit na bribe. And progressively, it got bigger and bigger. Sabi nga sa commercial, di ba, great things start, ano yung kasabihan? With small beginnings. Kung sino yung naisip niyong atleta, doon po makikita kung ano po ang edad ninyo. Yung mga nasa entablado ang naisip si Bea Lucero. Yung mga graduate, pareho po tayo, Carlos Yulo na ang naabutan natin. Now, the question is, okay, so ito na to. Nandito na yung malakihang korupsyon, nandito na yung malakihang problema ng ating bayan, yung mga lumang kalakaran na hindi nating matali-talikuran. What can I do? At paano? Muli po, habalik tayo dun sa unang tanong, paano ako makakasiguro na hindi ako kakainin ng sistema? Marami akong pwedeng sabihin, pero habang naghahanda po ako para sa mensahe na ito, sabi ko kanina maiksi, pero hawak ko na po yung mic. Siguro mga 2 oras po tayo dito. Habang naghahanda po ako, meron akong nahanap na listahan na ginawa ko several years ago. I think I was already a mayor. I don't even remember what year I wrote this. But it's actually a list of things that serve as a reminder to myself. So you can adopt it or not. Pero para sa akin, nakatulong po ito. These are 10 things. There are more, but these are 10 things that I have done and I try to continue to do that help me from being eaten by the system. And these are 10 things, but I'll read it in 60 seconds. I just want to put it out there. Number 1, preparation is more important than courage. Number 2, make a list of non-negotiables and review them regularly. Number 3, when in doubt, choose faith, conscience, and integrity over money, power, and ambition. Number 4, study cognitive dissonance and continuously identify how and where it affects you, your decision-making, and opinion-forming. Number 5, get out of your echo chamber from time to time. Number 6, check your ego every single day. Number 7, have people in your life who share the same or similar principles, values, and beliefs. Number 8, allow said people to keep you grounded. Number 9, give these people the license to hold you accountable. And number 10, have a healthy level of respect, but also be willing to go against the status quo. Alam niyo, yung ginawa po namin sa Pasig o yung sinusubukan namin gawing sa Pasig, hindi siya perpektong modelo. Malayo siya sa perpekto. Marami rin kaming pagkakamali, marami akong pagkukulang, kapalpakan pa nga. Pero siguro yung kahalagahan ng ginawa namin o ginagawa namin sa lungsod ng Pasig, sa ating lokal na pamahalaan ng Pasig, ay pinakita namin na kahit mahirap, posible ang pagbabago ng luma at bulok na sistema. Posibleng talikuran ng mga lumang kalakaran kahit matagal na itong nakaugat sa ating mga institusyon, sa ating sistema, maging sa ating kultura. The headlines you see today are just a small, or rather just a byproduct of small incremental steps that we, not just me, but a lot of people took for years. And many of the things that you see now, the successes that we have, that maybe you see me, but the reality is, a lot of the things that I was able to do till 2019, ay kasi may mga lumaban mula noong 2004, 2007, may mga nauna sa akin. They paved the way for me. The little things they did that maybe today no one would even remember, paved the way for me and for us now, starting in 2019. Whether you like it or not, you, the class of 2026, will determine the future of our nation. Will change be possible? Will we be forever trapped in this vicious cycle of inequality and poverty, of corruption and injustice? I'm sure that you and I are the same, that we believe that change is possible, that as a nation we can, we are, and we will move forward. Though sometimes it may be difficult to see, the trajectory of our nation is positive. It's upward. Diba, patunay na lang dito. Kung nasa time machine ka, pwede kang mamili kung saan ka titira, 1896, 1945, 1986, or 2026. I think if we will be purely objective, isipin lang natin, quality of life para sa iyong sarili, para sa iyong pamilya, most likely you will choose 2026. And I think that's proof that the trajectory of our history and of our nation is upward. Ang tanong na lang, kung gaano ba tayo kabilis papunta dun sa mas magandang bayan, mas magandang sitwasyon para sa ating mga kababayan. How fast we go will be determined not by the president, although of course leaders are important, not by some charismatic leader. There will be no savior for our nation. But how fast we go will depend on you, the incoming generation of leaders and change makers. Changing perspectives, reversing destructive norms and practices. How fast this all happens will depend on you. When you find yourself at the crossroads, will you choose the easier, more convenient path to success? Or will you stand with integrity? Will you stand for truth and justice? Towards a better nation, there will be no shortcuts. But if this next generation of leaders, including the class of 2026, if your generation will rise up, as we have seen you already beginning to do, perhaps our nation will be in for a pleasant surprise. To the class of 2026, may you become great lawyers who will live not only with excellence, but more importantly, with integrity. May you always choose to fight on the side of truth, fairness, and for the rule of law. May God bless you in your future careers. May God bless you and your families. And I look forward to everything that the future has in store for you. I look forward to witnessing you change our nation. Mabuhay ang class of 2026.